You kind of talk about Sharon's game. I mean, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He didn't miss a shot in the field. Just pretty efficient game for him.
Well, he missed 4 free throws, and we can't have that. You know, the way we play, we've got to make free throws because we're going to get the line, and we've got to make them. You know, you can say what you want, and coaches are always looking for reasons why. We were on a long road trip, and we got home, and it's great to be at home, but you can't discount the fact that we've been on the road, and now we have 1 day back. Now we did everything we could from a financial standpoint to make it easy, like making sure we flew home right after the game and those types of things, so that we would have a chance today. And we found a way to win, and we got through that. It was very easy to see that we struggled to put the ball in the basket, and that's something this team doesn't do. We shot unbelievable from the 3, and yet we only shot 46%, which for us at home, it should be a low point, especially when we're making 43 from the 3. So that means that from the 2, we didn't shoot very well. Jalen missed a bunch of shots. Percy missed a couple real easy shots. Kay missed some shots going to the basket. I think that's all part of the wear-down effect. Now we've got a couple days off. We're going to be at home. Our next road game again, though, but it's only an hour drive. So, you know, I think we got right where we need to be. I feel real good about where we're at. And I think the game went. You know, I would like to have won by 1,000, but I think the game went when it should. And I will say this. I think the last 3 years, maybe 2 years for sure, we would have lost this game. We would have lost this game. Because and then we'd be shaking our heads. Milwaukee came in here a couple of years, and that game went the exact same way. You know, we got up big early, and then, you know, and this team found a way to gather themselves, got some easy shots, kept going at it defensively, kept up the pressure, and we wore them down. And they had some wide open shots in the second half. They had no legs to even shoot. I mean, they had a couple of hit the backboard. That's how tired they were. And that's what we are. That's how we've decided, or I've decided, this is how we can be the best. And if you look at the history of my teams, we play different based on personnel. And with Martez coming in a week, that gives us another gun in our boat. And that's another guy that can go up and down and score and defend. And so this is how we're going to play. And there are going to be some nights like this. Bottom line is to be ahead of the end.
Coach Jalen Hayes had 13 rebounds, 5 of those were offensive. He seemed to play with a little bit of that junkyard dog mentality in terms of rebounding the basketball. That's something I know he was looking for.
He had a great defensive 5-point game with about 4.5 minutes to go. He had a great defensive rebound, just one of the best I've ever seen him get, where a guy went around him and tipped it, but he still got it. He came down and he got the offensive rebound, and he tried to finish, and I wish at that point again he'd have kicked it out. But those things are great. But you've got him who can get you 13 rebounds. You got Percy who can get you 13 rebounds. You got Dorsey Walker who's gotten 16 in the game this year. Martez is a guy that can go get a double-figure rebounds. So we have guys, and what we're trying to tell them is if you'll go every night, some days the ball's going to bounce to you. Tonight it bounced to Jalen. But if you're around the ball, you're going to have nights like this. With all the guys we got, this should make us a great rebounding team. Another reason I knew that Binghamton wasn't, you know, 73 to 33 or whatever, is because I've never seen a team with a plus 10 rebound margin that was 2 and 5. So that means that's a product of their schedule that they're 2 and 5. Because a plus 10 rebounding margin is unbelievable. I mean, if you were to keep that for the whole year, you're going to probably be in the top 10 in the country. And we out-rebounded them, and significantly out-rebounded. So I'm really, really pleased with how we're growing as a team and what we're doing. I really see a lot of good things. You know, I think you can focus on some of the bad things, or you can say, wow, that team, they won that game by 13 points or 10 points or whatever. You know, they got some junkyard dog in them. They're getting better.
How much is Sharon? How much is it the position where he's at, and how much of it is him? Just an ability. You can see he has a nose to shoot the gaps and go in and grab those, especially on the offensive boards.
I told this story in 2013 at the NCAA tournament, and I'll tell it again tonight because it's true. I have a dog. Remember this story?
Yeah.
I have a dog, and every time the doorbell rings, that dog runs to the front door. Every time. It's never been free. Not once has it ever been free. But if that doorbell rings tomorrow, he'll run to it. And that's what Sharon does. Every time he goes, and eventually it's going to get to him. And Sharon's got long arms. He's not a great leaper, no. Not a great leaper. You don't see him like Hayes above the rim or Felder above, you'll see Felder go get a defensive rebound and it looks like he defies gravity. You don't see that out of Sharon. But you see his arm up there every time. And he's got good hands. And that's what makes him what he is. And again, I think you'll see that same quality in Martez Walker. And we're going to have a lot of guys that can go get the basketball. We're going to get a lot of extra possessions because of it.
Is this a game where if you had Martez, you think you might have gone with 4 guards?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of that during the year. I think that you'll see the way Hooper's playing, we've got to keep him on the floor. The stats show that when Max is on the floor, that's when we're the most efficient. His plus-minus is the best on the team. So if he's got to be out there, I think you'll see Martez and Sharon and Kay and Hooper and then Hayes or Gibson. And Xavier really did a nice job for us today. And you're going to see a mixture of Xavier and Brechting and some of them as the year goes on. I'm just going to keep mixing them, and they're our future, and I'm going to pick their spots to play. And they're going to, tonight it was Xavier. Maybe the next game you'll see Brad. You're going to see those guys getting quality minutes and growing as players, so that in the future they're ready. But this just isn't their time right now.
How'd you view the press and just how it correlated to how the game went tonight?
Well, I wanted to get out of it late, and the players didn't. So that was, to me, the best thing that happened tonight, because that means they believe it. I gave them an out, because you got to play your tail off in that thing. And I gave them an out with about 12 minutes to go. I said, okay, let's back out. Let's just get stops. And they were, no, we want to stay in. And that, like I said, that's the best thing I heard tonight. If they don't buy into it, then it's not good. So they're buying into it. And if we're tweaking it with every game we play to figure it out.
Have you seen growth in it in terms of guys being in the right spots, or what are you seeing out of it?
We had more steals tonight than we've had all year. I think we're getting better at protecting the basket. I think we've given a lot of easy plays at the basket, and tonight it started the same way. And then Xavier finally figured it out. We gave up 2 easy ones on the first 7 possessions, and then they came down, and Xavier figured out how to protect the basket, and they saw success. So we'll grow from that. We get a lot of good film to watch, and we'll grow from it. One last thing. Remember, when Martez gets here, there'll be 11 guys playing, and 6 of them have never played at Oakland before this year. So there's some growth here. Yes, we're very talented, very talented. But there's some growth that's got to take place. There's some learning how to win that has to take place. Sharon and Percy didn't get a lot of minutes the last couple of years. Martez did. But those 2 didn't get a lot of minutes. So, look at Hooper. Look at the difference in Hooper from this year to last year. And that was just the growth, getting minutes that he had never had before, and growing into his position. Now, we need Percy to grow quickly because this is his only year. And we need the other 2 to grow fast, too, because we think we can do special things.
How many minutes a game are you expecting Martez to get?
Game 1. Depends on how he plays. He could play 30, 32. I perceive him to be that good. That's what he's shown in practice. He's never played a minute of a game for me, so we'll see. And there's going to be some rust, I would guess. He hasn't played in a year and a half. But remember this. When he was at Texas, they were ranked in the top 7 or 8 in the country the whole year. And he was the 6th man on that team. And in the NCAA tournament, they got beat by Michigan in the round of 32. And he averaged double digits in both games. He had double digits in both games in the NCAA tournament. Number 10 team in the country. I think he probably got to be pretty good to do that. So we'll see. I mean, I could sit here and tell you he's going to be great, and then I play him 2 minutes because he can't remember the plays and doesn't guard anybody, or misses every shot he does. But he's very dominant in practice. Dominant. He's not just a good player; he's dominant. It also is probably one of the reasons we're playing well, is because he's out there in practice. We're playing against him. Like last year, we played against. You heard me saying all the time last year, they see in practice Martez and Sharon and Percy. And that made Jalen Hayes better last year.
You talk about the defense and the points per possession and everything. How did you feel the half-court defense was in particular?
The first half, the points per possession were off the charts. They were 1.34, I think. I did not see the game, but they scored 27 points, and I would guess there were at least 40 possessions in the second half. So it probably, my guess is there were more than 72 possessions in this game. I haven't seen it, but, so I'm going to guess we were below 20 possessions. But if not, it's going to be very close. The game was fast, right? So figuring there's 72, at least 72 possessions. So that's really good.
Was it even as fast as you wanted it to be?
No, they slowed it down. The reason that I wanted to keep pressing is because in the first half we took the press off for a little bit, and they took it down to the shot clock every time, and then they buried a shot. And that goes against what we were doing. I would rather them get wide open quick shots and get that pace going so that we're scoring every possession too. Because that wears a team down. You go down and you score, and then we go, boom, score. Then you come down, you hit a three, boom, we score. That mentally wears the team down, and that's what we want. And I didn't like the fact that, they had it going. They had it going. So I would have rather had them up and down getting tight. That's why we went, with about 8 minutes to go in the half, we went back to the press.
Any more questions for Coach? All right.
Thank you, guys.
Time.